It's been my experience in leading others, as well as myself, to achieve breakthrough results that when I just focus on the outcome that needs to be achieved, is oftentimes I can get myself caught up in all the limited thoughts and beliefs that I have when I'm just outcome focused. But when I'm process focused, which said another way of how can I do it, that's when momentum begins to build, and that's when breakthrough results can be achieved. Hi everyone, Chris NATZKE here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your Mind of a Champion tip of the week. You know, one of the things I've come to understand in leadership is it's not just always about leading others, it's also about leading others in solving problems. Because as leaders, we certainly know that what will happen is there's always going to be challenges along our way. And I want you to think about the last time you had a challenge that you needed to undertake. And whether it was something where you were in a leadership position or you're just dealing with something personal. One of the first things that can come to mind is can I do it? Can I get through this? Or can we get through this? And that's a very natural way of looking at things. But the fact of the matter is when we focus on challenges from that perspective, that's when fear starts to come up. That's when our mind starts to race. That's when we start to get indecisive. And many times the opportunities that we have in front of us pass right by because we delay our action. On the other side of the coin, what if the next time you undergo a challenge, rather than be outcome oriented and asking yourself, can I do it? You ask yourself, how do I do it? Or how do we do it? You get process oriented. You know, just give you a little example of this is think of it this way. Let's say you're in the wilderness and all of a sudden you realize that you're being chased by a pack of wild wolves that haven't eaten in a while. And you realize that you have to get out of that situation now. And as you're running through the forest, you come upon a sheet of rock, right, that you can climb up to safety. And when you get to it, you realize that's the only way that you're going to be able to avoid certain death. But when you're at that point, you may for a moment say, can I do it? But I'll tell you what, you're going to soon get into how do I do it? Because you know that's the only way you can live. So what if we, when we are undergoing challenges, always had that in our minds? After that initial fear that comes up, can I do it? We took a breath and we said to ourselves, how do I do it? And we let our natural problem solving come to surface. And in fact, what can happen is many times we see things now as rather than problems, we see them as opportunities and as positive challenges that can be faced. And one of the best ways I guess I can illustrate this is something that we teach. I teach all my martial arts students from the very first time they enter our studios. And it's what we call the black belt cycle of success. The black belt cycle of success. And we actually teach this to young kids all the way to adults. In fact, we even teach the kids hand signals, so it anchors inside their bodies and in their minds. And the first of this is know what you want. And the kids will say, know what you want. And so that's getting very clear on our intentions, very clear on our goals. What is our vision for what you want to achieve? So know what you want, then have a plan, you know, like you open up a map, have a plan. And so that means being able to break things down in small, consistent, digestible pieces so you can step from one point to the next. Next, have a success coach. Have a success coach, like you have a little secret. And that's someone that is moved on before you so that you can ask questions, you can get guidance, you can be mentored, you can be coached. So know what you want, have a plan, have a success coach, then take consistent action. So that plan that you developed, make sure that it becomes integrated into your everyday life. It's not something that you put a plan together and then you stick it in your desk drawer and finally you look at it at the end of the year when you start to review the year that you just had. No, it's something that's a live document and something you're taking consistent action on a daily, weekly, a monthly, and maybe even an hourly basis. Then review your progress. You know, take time, let's say at a minimum of each week to see exactly where you are relative to the goals that you wanted to achieve for that week. And then finally, renew your goal. Renew your goal. So once you hit certain milestones and you hit certain areas in your on the path to what you want to achieve, then start to renew, adjust, etc. You know, we know that a pilot in a plane says that he's 99% off course when he or she is flying that plane. So Review your progress to know where you're at, and then renew your goals so that you can continue to move the way you want to go. So there you have it, my friends. Think about this. When you're up against challenges, get into a process orientation mindset. How do I do it? Versus an outcome oriented process. How or can I do it? And if you want to learn more about how you can use this and other things that I've developed, check out my Breaking Through Coaching program by going to my website, chrisnatzke.com. I'm going to be starting a new program up on September 17th, where I'm going to be taking a group of men, and I'm going to be having them go through the process of achieving breakthrough in one of the important areas of their life. It's a great time for us to get together to really process and move forward through our fears to get where we want to be. So thanks so much for watching. This has been Chris Natzke with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching, and I'll see you next time on the Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week.